Today's report has the potential to completely alter the landscape of not only the NFL, but the entire quarterback trade market this offseason. So far, we already saw two former number one overall picks, one in 2009 and one in 2016, get traded to brand new teams. Well, they got traded for each other. But on top of that, just this past week, we saw the 2016 number two overall pick also get traded from the Philadelphia Eagles to the Indianapolis Colts for mere pennies on the dollar. If you didn't watch the video we had on that, I can go on tangents about how bad of a trade I felt that was for the Philadelphia Eagles, but we are just getting started here. And typically, as time moves forward, you'd expect there to be less and less potential candidates to be traded and less players to be available. But it seems as though as time is progressing forward, we're coming up with more and more potential candidates that could find brand new teams this offseason. So what's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here, and this is our second video of the day. So do me a favor and sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm because it does wonders for our channel's growth. On top of that, I was able to secure two new PlayStation 5 digital editions. All you have to do to enter for a chance to win is subscribe and turn on my notifications. If you want additional entries, then follow us on Twitter and or Instagram, and I really recommend you do that because that's how I typically feature your takes in our content. Now that we got all of that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So guys, a few weeks ago, well, February 8th if I'm being exact, I came out with a video documenting the fact that Russell Wilson wasn't really happy with his situation with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this information wouldn't have come out if it wasn't for Dan Patrick's incredible abilities as an interviewer. You see, Dan Patrick went ahead and interviewed Russell Wilson and asked him a very simple question about how he felt about his relationship with the Seattle Seahawks and whether or not he wished he was more of a part of the personnel decisions that the Seattle Seahawks made, similarly to what Deshaun Watson wanted with the Houston Texans. In that interview, if you watch it in its entirety, I wish I could feature it here, but if I do, then, well, we could get copyright struck. But if you go to my Instagram story, it'll be there if you want to watch the entire interview. In that interview, you notice that Russell Wilson kind of hesitates whenever he's asked about whether or not he wants to be included in personnel decisions with the Seahawks. After that, you see Dan Patrick kind of pushing forward and asking Russell Wilson whether or not he is happy in Seattle or not. And, well, the response went like this. According to Jason La Canfora, this is a couple of weeks old, he says, "I'm hearing Russell Wilson's camp has grown increasingly frustrated by the Seattle Seahawks' inability to protect the 8-time Pro Bowler. He has been sacked 394 times in 9 seasons. This situation warrants serious monitoring." Now, on top of that, Russell Wilson came out to say that he wants to be involved in personnel decisions. At the end of the day, it's your legacy, your team's legacy. It helps to be involved more, and that dialogue should happen more often. Now, for those guys wondering, how on earth did this quarterback empowerment movement start to come forward? It all started with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. After winning a Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs literally delegated their first-round pick to whatever Mahomes wanted, and Mahomes chose Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who had a fairly solid rookie season. So as a result, players like Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson came out and said, "Hey, we want the Patrick Mahomes treatment. We're both remarkable quarterbacks, and we are definitely entitled to said treatment for you guys to come and consult us about personnel decisions." And while the Houston Texans apparently dropped the ball with Deshaun Watson, literally telling him, "Hey, yeah, you are going to be involved in personnel decisions," and then going out and hiring a general manager without necessarily asking him for his input after trading DeAndre Hopkins a year prior, after giving up multiple first-round picks to make up for a horrible trade of Dwayne Brown to bring in Laramie Tunsil to fill in that void before paying him a huge contract. We are now seeing more and more quarterbacks come out and say, "Hey, I want you guys to consult me whenever we're making big decisions." And that's why Deshaun Watson wants out of Houston. And that's why apparently Russell Wilson is currently unhappy with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, at the time when that video was made, the Seattle Seahawks said that there is no chance that they're going to be trading Russell Wilson. But then just a few days later, we got another report that Seahawks management is not happy with Russell Wilson. And it says that Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson showed rare candor this week when he went on the Dan Patrick Show and said, among other things, that he's frustrated by getting hit too much and that he's not sure if he's available in a trade. That may have rubbed Seahawks management the wrong way. We also got additional information. A source said that Seahawks management is not happy with Russell Wilson and his camp for taking this to the media. You wonder if they're going to be able to coexist. The situation that they're in currently is unsustainable. That's what I was told. And I also said that the fact that Russell Wilson said that his future in Seattle's uncertain had tones of what Aaron Rodgers said about the Green Bay Packers after his exit in the NFC Championship. Now, as a result of this news hitting the headlines, we got another report from Michael Silver of NFL Media that reports that 1/3 of the NFL has called the team about the possibility of a Russell Wilson trade. As you should. Russell Wilson is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and if he is available, you should do whatever you can to potentially bring him on board. And while originally Russell Wilson was known to be completely unavailable in trade talks, those teams have come away with some very important information. Apparently, there is a way that you could get your hands on Russell Wilson. Unlike what the Houston Texans are saying with Deshaun Watson, that they're not trading him no matter what, they are saying that you can have Russell Wilson, and this is according to Michael Silver of NFL Media, that Russell Wilson could be had if a team was to offer 3 first-round picks. Now, that's a little bit different than what we heard earlier this month. Earlier this month, they said, hey, we're not trading Russ no matter what. Now they're saying, hey, we will trade Russ if we get 3 first-round picks. Now, obviously, if they were to make this trade, they're going to take a very heavy cap hit of $39 million of dead money. Now, there's 2 things that you guys have to know about this information, so don't click off of the video yet because this is very, very important for you guys to know. The first thing is why this would make sense, because the Seattle Seahawks are clearly an okay team with Russell Wilson just cooking with DK Metcalf. They have an okay defense that was headed by a fairly whatever defensive coordinator last year, and obviously they're trying to make changes to that defense. Now, if you are to trade Russell Wilson, you're getting out of a huge contract, which could free up some cap space in the future. You could invest that capital elsewhere, and you also get 3 first-round picks to build your team a little bit better. Maybe use one of those first-round picks on a quarterback in the draft, which you don't have to pay as much, but it is clearly a wild card if you do so. Now, before any of this happens, before any possibility of a Russell Wilson trade, there's something you must know, and it's the fact that the Seahawks also got Russell Wilson's message and that there is an opportunity to alleviate his concerns before any trade would be on the table. So what it sounds to me like, hey, we're gonna try to fix this marriage. We're going to try to work on fixing what's going on and fixing Russell Wilson's concerns before jumping to, hey, we got to trade Russ. I think there is a possibility for Russell Wilson's concerns to be fixed, and I feel like Russell Wilson is just trying to convey to the Seattle Seahawks, hey, we need to work on our ability to communicate with one another. We need to talk to each other about the way we're going to construct this team around me. Because at the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks have done a remarkable job building that team for Russ. Trading a first-round pick for Jamal Adams on the defensive side of the ball was remarkable. Drafting DK Metcalf to give him an additional weapon on offense was awesome. The only thing that I think didn't really go so well is the Seahawks keep spending early round draft picks on running backs that, in my opinion, are just above average. And that capital could easily go towards a better offensive line for Russell Wilson, which I think he's just trying to say, hey guys, I want to play football for a long time. I see Tom Brady playing until he's potentially 45. And in order for me to even get close to a place where I could do that, you guys need to upgrade my offensive line. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think the odds are that Russell Wilson is going to get traded now that this information was leaked to the media? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.